Moving towards the next Magadha, which became very famous because of Chandragupta Maurya and the great king Ashoka. Magadha, which became the most important Mahajanapada in about 200 years. And the reason behind being most successful amongst all were Ganga and Sun river which flowed through it, which made its land fertile enough for agriculture purpose and helped them with the transport through waterways. And most of its parts were of forest, which helped them get wood and many other resources through it. Even the elephants were caught and being trained so that they can be a part of army and can help them during the wartime. There you can have a look over the pictures. First of river Ganga, which originates from Himalaya mountain at Gaumukh. Secondly of river Sun, which originates from Amarkant in Anuppur district of Madhya Pradesh. And the war elephant, how they can be useful, you can just make out looking at the picture of it. And the woods which they used to get it from the forest were used to make houses, carts and chariots. Along with it, they used to get iron ore through mines, through which they used to make strong tools and weapons for farming purpose and for the war purpose. Bimbisara and Ajatasattu were the two most powerful rulers who almost conquer all over the Janapadas. You can have a look over the pictures how they used all the resources for making Magadha the most powerful amongst all. And here you can have a look over the two most powerful rulers of Magadha, Ajatasattu and Bimbisara. Mahapadmananda was another most important ruler who extended the empire towards the northwest part of the Indian subcontinent, which was Rajagriha, presently known as Rajgir in Bihar, which was the capital city of Magadha for several years. Later, which was shifted to Patliputra, which is presently known as Patna. You can have a look over the places of Rajgir and Patliputra and even the king Mahapadmananda. You all must have heard about the Alexander the Great, who wanted to conquer the whole world, but unfortunately he was not able to do so. He conquered many parts of Egypt and West Asia, and when he reached to Indian subcontinent on the bank of river Beas, he wanted to start conquering Indian subcontinent through eastern part, but the soldiers refused because they got scared of Indian rulers with vast armies, with chariots and big massive war elephants. Moving towards the Vajji, which is the birthplace of democracy in India. While Magadha became a most powerful kingdom, Vajji, with its capital Vaishali, with different form of government, Gana or Sangha, made a group or an organization where all the rulers came together in it. They worked together for the betterment of their kingdoms in terms of rituals, meets regarding the conflicts in the assemblies to resolve it, and decided what had to be done and how through debate and discussion, as they all knew that united they will be able to stand, and if divided they all will fall. Have a look over the Vaishali Vajji state, known as the birthplace of democracy in India. Like they used to get together in the assemblies and discussed if in case anyone attacks them, what can be done to protect their kingdom from such threat and all. And however, in those kind of assemblies and meetings, women, slaves, and kamakaras, who were the landless agriculture laborers, were not allowed to be a part of those assemblies. Now, what kind of a change took place in agriculture by the time? Major changes took place in agriculture with the iron plowshare, which can easily plow heavy clayey soil, which was not possible with the wooden plow, as it used to get break down. And because of the same, they started producing more amount of grains. And secondly, they started transplanting paddy, in which seedlings are grown in the nursery first, and later which was being planted in the puddle and level fields. After the process of around 15 to 40 days in the nursery of seeding. Have a look over the pictures of iron plowshare and the process of transplanting of paddy. And because of this transplantation, they can get the best crop yields out of the fields, and which even promotes better development of shoot system of plants. These lead to increase in production with a minimum wastage of time, money and resources. But it was back-breaking work, as it was to be done in a way out where the person had to be in a position facing towards the land, means downwards. As you saw in the picture in the previous slide of transplantation process, which was generally to be done by slave men and women and the landless agriculture laborers. Coming towards the last topic of the chapter, taxes. As we discussed previously, that the rulers of Mahajanapadas were building huge forts and maintaining big armies, for which obviously they were in need of money and other resources. Without that, it is not possible to maintain a huge army and to build such a huge structure. So, the king wanted the officials to collect the taxes from the people of their kingdom on regular basis, instead of just depending on the occasional gifts brought by the people. You can have a look over the pictures. You will get a clear idea about what I explained you in the previous slide. Have a look over the pictures of iron plowshare and the process of transplanting of paddy. Have a look over the pictures of iron plowshare and the process of transplanting of paddy. and it was collected on different bases. For example, like farmers used to pay in terms of grains which they produced in their fields, and it was fixed like they were supposed to pay 1/6 part of what they produced. Secondly, craft persons have to work without labor. For example, a weaver or a blacksmith had to work for a day in whole month for the king without any kind of labor. Herders were expected to pay through animals and the goods produced through animals. Even the import-export taxes were laid on goods. Like, for example, if any good move out or if any of the good come inside the town regarding trade purpose, for the same they have to pay the tax. Even the hunters and the gatherers have to pay taxes through forest goods, which they get it from the forest. That's all for today. Thanks and have a good day ahead.